Maybe I'm just getting older. Or maybe Triumph went a bit cheap on the suspension. But I don't know why that would have taken me 20,000 miles to figure that out. So it must have something to do with me getting older. Spiritually, I feel young. It's just my back. My L4 knocking into my L5 with every bump in the road. So whether it's my age or my suspension, I'll solve for both problems. For the body, a bit of yoga. For the motorcycle, new suspension components. Progressive fork springs and more robust rear shocks. So that the next 20,000 miles don't put as much onus on my back to dampen the road as I continue to ride across America. With each bridge joint, frost heave, underfunded and undercared for city street, the new suspension absorbing the beating and smoothing the ride, enable the machine to reduce the burden of my reality. Maybe I am just getting older. But that makes me think, if I were to identify all of the uncomfortable parts of my motorcycle ride and address them one by one and fix them so that they were not uncomfortable, at what point does my motorcycle become a car? Or at least at what point does it cease being a motorcycle? For example, if I added a giant windscreen, or if I added some electro energy field that surrounded me and blocked out all wind and weather, is that still a motorcycle? Well, it still has two wheels. But what if I then installed some self-balancing mechanism that would remove the need for me to worry about keeping my bike upright? Is the need to balance necessary to keep the identity of a motorcycle? I mean, a motorcycle with a sidecar doesn't really need to balance, but it still seems like a motorcycle. So if it's not about any one individual component, let's turn to more intangible concepts. Is danger and discomfort a part of the spirit of a motorcycle? If a motorcycle was easy and comfortable, would it cease being a motorcycle? I'd argue for the most part, the motorcycle is not about practicality. It's much more about romance. Not the take your girl out to a Michelin star restaurant romance. Romance in the sense that we want to feel nostalgic about the present moment that we're living in. That feeling you get when thinking about a past adventure, past love, specific memories of a time gone by. We want to live in the present as if we were remembering it. And the motorcycle allows us to do so through direct, tangible experience with the discomfort of the road, the necessity of our attention regulating speed and balance, the risk of the bike breaking down, of a crash. It all puts us supremely in the present moment. But why are we chasing nostalgia? Well, nostalgia strips all the noise that we experienced in the moment. The anxiety of saying the right thing, our brains thinking about what to say next, what to do next. Since the past is locked in and cannot be changed, it becomes perfect. So when we chase nostalgia, we're chasing the present moment to be perfect. To feel like a leaf floating along a river, wherever it takes us next. And nostalgia is very much attached to feelings or direct experience, like our sense of smell. And the motorcycle gives us a more direct experience and exposure that gives us opportunities to remember. We can travel more miles than somebody on foot or on bicycle, thus see more things. Yet relative to somebody traveling in a car, we can directly feel the weather, the temperature, and take in the unique scents that surround us. And depending on our suspension, we can also feel the personality of the road, directly channeling itself through our spine. So each time we make a modification to reduce that exposure or experience, we're reducing the glow of the moment, of the future memory of that moment. So bike modifications seem a bit like a slippery slope now, don't they? Because a modification to increase safety or comfort could reduce exposure to any of your senses, possibly reducing the identity and romance of the motorcycle. But fortunately or unfortunately, even after I take my upgraded suspension out on a test of the cobblestone streets of Red Hook in Brooklyn, my back is still a bit sore. So alas, I must still be riding a motorcycle.